Welcome. I'm back. We are on. We're on day 30. And before we start off with day 30, remember when I was looking up or listening, what is a soft answer turns away anger? Well, I found the scripture. It is Proverbs 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stir up anger. So make sure if you're trying to calm somebody down, don't match them at the same level of intensity, because all it's going to do is cause a perfect storm, and that's not good. But yeah, I found where it was. So today I want to share something very personal. And for today's quote, for day 30, I love me some Dr. Seuss. Some movies are like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I watch it all the time on Disney Plus. One of my favorite. I love George Clooney's voice, England Close. So soothing. So yeah. But here, the more you read, the more things you'll know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. By Dr. Seuss. Okay. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to share. These are some books that I want to finish. Right. So my mom got my sister and I Becoming. We all know about Michelle Obama, and we know that her Netflix series is out. I haven't watched it yet because I want to make sure I finish reading the book. And there was one book, I think it was Catching Fire, Hunger Games. I actually read that book, and then the movie came out, and it was such a great experience because I knew it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen, and I was excited about it. But I could, for once, be like one of the people to say like, oh, the book is better, but not that I'm mad at the movie or anything. I know they have a time constraint, etc., etc. But yeah, I felt like the book was like rated R, and in the movie they made it PG-13, for everybody to watch. So that was a cool experience. So that is why I want to hurry up and read this first before I go on to watching the series on Netflix. I kind of read like the first 2 chapters, and then life happened, and I'm trying to get back into reading more. The next book that I want to finish, I'm kind of like halfway through. It is Think, Learn, and Succeed. I know it's backwards, but yeah, Think, Learn, and Succeed by Dr. Leaf. She talks about how to retrain your mind, recalibrate your brain, and things like that to be a better person. I'm halfway through it. It's really, really good. There's different mindsets in here. They got like scientific graphs and things like that. I really love how she takes science and, I'm not saying religion, but she takes those and she kind of puts it into terms for people that are not just reading the Bible, but you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of how the mind works and how God is, I feel like, as scientific as well, and he has made our bodies and minds work as such, and so she's tapped into that, and it's a really good read. If you want to kind of just browse and skim what she's talking about, find her on YouTube and look at Stephen Furtick. I hope I'm saying his name correctly, and look at when they're sitting down and there's a tree in the middle. She has a good tree and a bad tree. She talks about that. So that's a really good book. Another book that I'm halfway through reading that I need to finish, and you can see my notes here. And this is where it stops, like halfway, right? So this is The Black History of the White House. Like, when I saw this, I was like, what? Let me get onto that. Because I think I was watching maybe The Breakfast Club or something like that, and somebody mentioned it. So by Clarence Lucane, I hope I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, so just so you know, the White House was built by black people. Okay, sit on that and then pick up this book and read it. It's a great read. And the reason I wrote notes is because I was also going to use this as like a history book. So those are at least 3 that I want to get on top of. I want to read 1 every month. I want to shout out Sydney, and I want to shout out Saray at this time. You guys are my inspiration. You guys are great readers, awesome people, and I want to be on your level as far as picking up a book and diving into it and escaping from the world. Another thing I said at the beginning of this video is I wanted to share something very personal. So in addition to reading, you guys, I'm gonna read something to you that I wrote. So this is kind of like an audio version, okay, of part of a book that I am going to put out in the future. I am going to put out, I don't know when, but I am. And this particular something is actually a dream that I had. And a lot of times when I have dreams, a few of my friends, very few, I've spoken about 150 people, knowing about my surgery front end, and those are like my tight-knit support system and circle, but very, 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 very few, and I mean probably less than 20 now out of the 150, which is a big or major percent, know that I have these dreams and I write them down. So I'm gonna read this to you. At this point, if you don't care, you can shut off. Thank you so much. Shut off, shut it down. Thank you so much, and you have an amazing day. But this is for my people that want to go deeper into my psyche, and outside of music, this is also something that I want to dive into as far as the author, being an author. So this one is called Battleground. I always write the time and the date. So Battleground, it was 3:25 a.m. on November the 1st, 2016. All right, I'm gonna read it to you. If I mess up, you know, just rock with me and maybe close your eyes and listen, and let's go. Because I think I only have maybe like 4 minutes now to keep going. Okay, it's a battleground. Somehow my mind went back to a time where there was deep tension. Black and whites didn't get along, but they did mix in blood due to battle, in blood due to rapes, and in blood due to killings. Their souls were forever intertwined with the burden of hatred for one another. The will to survive for one meant death of another. Death to one's dignity or death to one's pride, death in numbers, death in the soul of one who feels no compassion, but only for their kind. All blood bleeds the same, but the skin screams out loud, shame, shame, shame. What did any of us do to deserve such a tragic fate? We want to live, we want to grow. As we devise our plans, the adversary comes to thwart everything we reap and sow. My brothers and sisters devised a plan, not only for us that live today, but to create a future for every woman, girl, child, boy, and man. So that was like the prelude. Then it goes into what happened. We traveled so far hiding from them along the river, which leads north to our freedom, keeping our eye on the star, our eyes on our Lord who gives us strength. We understand that at any point we show ourselves, we could risk our lives for forever. Martyrs for our freedom, martyrs for our people, martyrs for our belief in freedom. At the base of the river, a brother is badly hurt. He cannot walk, and we need some of the aids at the store across the way. It's a ghost town, and the whites are the souls that feast upon our flesh. A few of us, myself included, agreed to go to the store to get some aids, no matter the cost, and make it back. Death is always considered, but torture is feared. Degrading the beautiful black body, as it were the scum of the earth, was the most painful thing to think of, endure, watch, and almost be willing to become accustomed to. The stress and constant state of mental agony is like none other. Truly living each day as your last, your body and mind are but grains of salt in this world. We are all in the same salt shaker, but some think their flavor is better than others, when we all can shine and season the earth with our greatness. The crime for being different, the crime for wanting to live, who made them God? Who made them ruler? I walk from my safe haven, out from the deep in the trees, expose my glistening skin to be beaten by the skin. Yes, that I give permission, but what comes next I never would have allowed under any circumstance. We're walking towards the store, my eye is on the prize, and suddenly my concentration is broken, because someone grabs my left hand, almost as if they love me. But I'm mistaken. They love the feeling they get from me. We're walking away from the group in a different direction. My skin is being surveyed. His fingers are tasting the smoothness of my curves. My heart is crying because I don't know if I'll ever return. He whispers, "Now you be a good little bitch, you hear?" I hold back my tears. I hold back any logic of what's about to happen, being completely immoral and trying to hold back all fear. He takes me to something that looks like a pool house that used to be a bathroom. It's steaming hot, more humid than outside. A shower is running, but it also reeks of a stench. I tiptoe, following a familiar smell of death, and discover a fellow brother boiled alive in the shower. His skin melted away, revealing that we're all the same, but his crime for initially being black did not save him and will forever be his shame. An involuntary scream, not once but twice, shoots out of my mouth. I try to cup my hands over my face, but it's too late, for the one who had brought me here was enraged and inflamed. He struck me once with one hand and grabbed my arm, pulling me away with the other, and grabbed a long pole. "Now, I'm gonna rape you now." As if the gentler sex without consent was supposed to be better. It was always rape, but saying it now implied death. He drugged me out, and I screamed until I couldn't no more. And that's when I woke up, because I was like, I don't know what's about to happen in this dream, but I can't take it. And then I woke up and I was like, what? And then I just wrote it down. I just wrote it down. So that's one of many dreams that I have, and that is something that I want to put into a book. Write in the comments. I'm gonna definitely leave this open. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how it made you feel. Tell me if you're interested, if I do actually write a book. And if you want to know more, I just want to know your thoughts. So this has been great. This was day 30, I believe, or 23. It was day 30. So Dr. Seuss was just the inspiration. The more you read, the more you'll know. The more you'll know, the more you'll grow, I think. You guys, I've already talked so much, but Tiffany, you can do this. Read your books, and everybody have a great day.